What is going on, guys? We're bringing you another Saints Row video, but we are talking about the Saints Row reboot. And I'm talking about the anger and unhappiness that the fans have with the game that is, the trailer that they have seen. And I would tell you this, I don't think it makes any sense for them to be that irritated with that trailer. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. They're nitpicking. They're complaining about any little thing. They, the Saints Row YouTube channel dropped a video on. Let me get this music off. I don't want to, get any violations. But they dropped another video recently, I think 2 days ago or so, with a little bit of gameplay, little snippets. The gameplay looks like this, in a way. Now I have some clips, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be using it on my channel, so I didn't want to take a chance, but, so I'm using this here, Saints Row 3rd on PS5. So, the point I'm making is, they haven't, with those snippets of gameplay, it looks like the way these games look. It shows the explosions, the shootouts, the running, diving, things like that. That's what Saints Row has always been. That's what it is. So they can't be complaining about that. Plus, the complaining came before that video even came out anyway. They were complaining about the characters they saw and, different dialogues and stuff like that. It makes no sense. They didn't see any gameplay. They didn't see the customization in the game. They don't know the size of the city. They don't know what the controls are like in that game. And yet, some people are saying the game is trash. I personally believe that a lot of gamers this day and age, there's some times where it's granted to complain about things that are just totally screwed up. If a game is just messed up, unfinished, when it releases, no, they're complaining about a trailer. The game doesn't come out until February 25th, okay? So this is nothing like that. They're just, gamers today are like entitled, spoiled, bratty kids. This is not what I wanted, but what about what I want kind of attitude. And that's not how the gaming world works. You have all these gaming developers. They have a team of people. You're not included in it. There's millions of gamers out here. And I just don't understand the backlash. You haven't seen the game. You haven't played it. You don't know the size of the city. You don't know the controls. You don't know how deep the customization is. You have an idea of what the visuals of the game look like, and that's what you got, and that's it. And you guys are mad about that? It does not look bad. I don't know which version they were showing, but let's go ahead and, what I'm doing here, the little snippets of gameplay, it definitely resembled this. The running, ducking, shooting, diving kind of stuff. So it's definitely Saints Row-ish, and it's definitely the same concept, different characters, different city. If you ask me, that is better, because you have something completely new to work with. Yeah, you have different visuals, but, I personally was not a fan of Saints Row 4. I thought that wasn't the best way to go, but I'm not going to tell them they shouldn't make the game or whatever. Let's get the heck out of here. We're getting a little heat on us. But yeah, it's like they have this entitled, it's almost like they created an image in their own head or something like that, and that's what they wanted the gamers to put out. As if that even makes sense. I need to be careful when I ride, don't I? But the little snippets of gameplay that they showed, it was resembling to this. You had the driving, the chases, the shootings and stuff like that. New weapons, of course, updated. Kind of like over-the-top stuff. And it's a totally new experience. It's the same concept, just different enemies, different friends, different city. To me, that is a very, very, very good thing. That's what you would want. Something completely new with the same type of concept that you actually like. Because the Saints Row fans liked, the Saints Row 2, Saints Row 3. They like the way the game is. And that's what it looked like to me. So the anger about, but the characters this, it doesn't make sense to me. It seems like they're a bunch of spoiled, bratty, entitled kids that are mad because what about me? What about the game that I want? Nobody knows what exact game you wanted. And that's why I say it seems like they have a predetermined image in their head of what Saints Row is supposed to be. A newer version of it. And how you can't look for that. You know what I mean? Because the gamers are not in the developers are not in your head. They can't, center the development around you. It makes absolutely no sense. You haven't seen anything bad about the game. Like I said, it looks like a Saints Row game when you look at the gameplay snippets, couple seconds, but it's the running and shooting and blowing up stuff that this is, and I know some people didn't like this. Saints Row the Third was kind of back and it was kind of either or. You had some that liked it, some didn't, It was kind of mixed. But it seems like you got all these people that are angry about that, and I don't understand how that makes sense. I looked at it and I'm like, that looks good. It looks like a new experience,
Just like Johnny did.
I honestly thought they were gonna redo it from the standpoint of using the same characters, just maybe giving them different looks, the same enemies, slightly maybe changing the dialogue, making the city more updated, maybe, something like that. But they didn't do that. I never thought that that they're supposed to do that or they have to do that. I just kind of thought that's what they meant when they said reboot. But when I saw what I saw, I said, wow, that's cool. Now, the first time I seen it, I wasn't happy because I thought they were forcing you to play with a certain character. It seemed like there was no customization or something, but they have, confirmed that, yes, you are creating your own player, your character. They have a base character that they use for the cinemas that is out now, but it's the female with the, hippie haircut with the side. I think that's the character that they're sort of using, but this one, they have some basic character that they showed, not on trailers, but just, well, the Saints Row 2 definitely did. On the screen shots in between loading screens, they had like it was like a bald male character with a tank top. That was like sort of just a standard. And I guess that's what that is. Maybe they start you off like that and you change it, female, male. And I saw a little small clip of the customization and it looked pretty good. I mean, they barely showed it. It looked like you can be like some silver robotic looking character. Let's go ahead and fly this plane. Oh, I gotta turn the music off. I'm about to totally wreck this plane. So let's get out. Because I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, I don't see any problem. Like, what? It makes no sense. Like I said, I honestly think a lot of gamers are just entitled spoiled brats. I'm going to give you a prediction. Those same people that are whining and saying, oh, this game is trash, there's nothing that shows that the game itself is trash. Nothing. Okay? It just isn't the game that they had predetermined in their head as to what they were looking for. And you can't do that in the gaming world. It makes no sense to do that. I'm realizing this game looks better than I thought it did. Of course, it's the PS5 version. It needs to look good. But anyway, it wasn't what they thought it should have been or whatever the case may be. That doesn't make a game bad. I can't tell you how many times a game wasn't what I thought it should have been, and then I gave it a try, and it's like, wow, this is way better than I thought it was going to be. That's kind of what happened with the Saints Row the Third. I had something else in mind after playing Saints Row 2, and I'm on record saying I kind of like Saints Row 2 better in some ways.
while taming ferocious pussy. Some
But I'm
people
okay
like
with
it
this
doggy
too.
style, but that's nothing compared to
You know,
kitty style.
that's I was still okay with it. As I'm forgetting how to fly this plane, I was okay with what I had. It was a different. They gave you something new. Even the characters were different. Look at Shandi. That isn't even the same character. I almost wrecked that plane. I don't think a plane could take off that quick in real life, but we're gonna take this really high and jump out. Even playing this game, yeah, the missions got a little old after a while. I've beaten it too many times, but I like messing around with it in open world and just creating different characters and just doing whatever, just kind of BSing with the game, basically. But yeah, the backlash, or the outlash, the anger, it's just a bunch of spoiled, bratty, entitled, kids. They're actually adults, but I guarantee you, those same people are gonna play this game before anyone else, and they're gonna be nitpicking. It's just like the Madden haters. The same people are the first ones that have the game. They drop more content than anybody else. But the only thing they talk about is how horrible the game is. Why are you wasting your time with it? Drop content on something else. It's kind of like I said about the bratty, spoiled crap. Now, if you talk about Cyberpunk and how the game was crashed and it had too many glitches and it seemed like it was unfinished, but yet you want me to pay 60. But all that stuff is not known until you buy it for the early buyers. Yeah, that's legitimate because you have a product that's broken and messed up. WWE 2K20, yeah, that's understandable. But this here, the Saints Row, the reboot Saints Row, the reboot Saints Row. I mean, come on, the game the game ain't even out yet. Like, how can you be that angry about it? Anyway, that's my opinion on it, and I feel good about my opinion. I believe you got to give a game a try. You have to see what a game comes with. You got to see, not just the visuals, because you can pretty much see the visuals now, but the controls, what the missions look like, what your customization suit looks like. That's the thing that I'm most, looking forward to, is the creative, what that looks like. They say it's deeper than any other Saints Row game. That excites me. Until you see all that stuff, calling it trash is basically a dead statement that is just based on some entitled brat that didn't get the characters he was looking for when he saw the trailer.